Today is Tuesday, December 14th, and welcome to Slow Home Studio.
My name is John Brown, and this is Matthew North, and we have a special treat for everybody today. We've got an unexpected interview with Julie, the editor of Remodelista.com.
Yeah, and Remodelista is a website that we've been following for a long time, and most of our long-term viewers will notice that we've actually got a link to Remodelista on our site now, and our content is on their site, but also we've got a link for all of our viewers to go to a new part of their site, which is an architecture and design directory, and we're going to talk about that today.
Exactly. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
So thanks very much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about Remodelista?
Sure. Remodelista is a design site for interior design enthusiasts, and we started it about three years ago as a way to kind of help homeowners or anybody embarking on a remodel narrow the choices. There's four of us, and we had all gone through remodels ourselves, and we realized that when you do something like pick a kitchen sink, it's almost, you've got thousands of choices. So we wanted to really create a site where you could go when you're working on a project, and rather than look at 1,000 sinks, look at 10 that we chose 10 as a number to sort of narrow things down to. And after we started, we also started covering a lot of products and design projects, and it's really grown into a sort of a design community, we like to think of it.
I think it's a great idea, the idea of an edited collection, because there's so much choice out there and there's so much visual noise, particularly in the world of design, that having a source that you can trust, and I also like the idea that there's more than one person doing this. And I
love the idea of the fact that you guys have all been through renovations or remodels yourself, so yeah. You've got a lot of experience about that.
So let's talk about the directory itself, because this is a relatively new part of the site, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And why did you start this?
Well, we started covering architecture. We started featuring projects by architects that we love, and we realized that there was a huge enthusiasm for architecture, and we started getting many comments from readers asking us to recommend architects in different parts of the country. So we figured we'd create a directory where our readers could go and find architects that we think are great.
So I see that it's organized by region at the first level. So if we click on, say, New York and the Mid-Atlantic, then you see that there's 24 architectural firms that have been featured in. And this is like the same process that you go through when you're making your selections for the regular part of your site. That this is an edited collection of architectural firms. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for Remodelista? Well, like, what types of projects and architects are you looking for?
Well, that's a good question, because I think people tend to think of us as being a very modernist site, and actually we also really enjoy more traditional design. So we really look for, first of all, great photography. When an architect has spent the time to really photograph a project well, it makes such a difference. And obviously, we look for a high design level. We look for clean projects that we can imagine ourselves living in. Maybe that's probably the number one thing. And it's some of it is just intuitive. You can tell by looking at a portfolio that this is a type of design that appeals to our readers.
Right. So if I just noticed scrolling down the list, we come to Masana O'Rourke. They're a favorite of ours as well. I think we did some video interviews with them when we were in New York several years ago. So we'll be putting those up on our website. So I see that when you come and work your way down in the directory, you come to the page, and so there's a lead photograph from the firm, and then a statement, and then the firm's portfolio.
Yes, and I have to tell you that I discovered Masana O'Rourke on your site.
Really?
Oh, that's interesting.
Do that, but that was the first time that was the first time I saw their work, and in particular the Tenbrook Cottage.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite projects, and I was amused to see that it seems to be absolutely immortal. It's on the web. It's covered constantly, and it's just up on a Canadian site right now with a whole new set of photographs I haven't seen before.
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's a lovely project. I particularly like it because it blends the old cottage with the new piece in a really beautiful way.
Exactly, and that's something that we tend to gravitate toward at Remodelista is the combining of old and new. It's just
right. So I see on the right side you've got a bit of a list about the firm, the kinds of services that are offered, the size of the firm when it was established, where they work, so that someone that might be looking for an architect or a designer could come to this site and get some help in where to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really important because it's important. I think that a lot of people are hesitant maybe to contact an architect. And in my experience speaking to architects all over the world, they're more than willing to talk to people, even for modest budget projects. And I know that certainly Masana O'Rourke are really interested in helping everyday people find great places to live.
Yeah, and I have to say that just browsing through the directory, the quality of the images and the size of them is really good. So the way that you've actually programmed the website and the way that you've laid everything out, you're getting really big-sized images, which you don't often get on websites about architecture. They're usually like smaller thumbnails and not as much detail.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. No, I've really developed an appreciation for photography, I have to say, working on this project. And the truth is that the images are even better on the iPad. I don't know if you've had it.
No, we haven't seen that, but I did notice that you have an app for the iPad. That's very cool.
We do have an app, and it's like a miracle. I haven't actually investigated what the technology is, but the photos become sort of there's a new level of clarity when you look at them on a iPad screen. So
that's fascinating. That's really cool. So what's next in the world of the directory?
Well, we've started to include furniture designers as well. There's so many great furniture designers out there, and we thought it would be good to sort of put them in one place. We started with Henry Built, which is a Seattle company that does incredible custom wood kitchens, and we're starting to add smaller furniture designers and lighting designers also, interior designers. We're really hoping to make this a place where you can come and find help on any aspect of a project you're doing.
Well, that's great. That's one of the reasons that we're so excited about what you're doing here, because it is a slow thing to do. You need to have some professional advice sometimes to get you out of that standardized, mass-produced world. It doesn't have to cost a lot to benefit from the advice of a professional, a design professional.
Exactly. No, we really believe in architecture, so that's been one of our big goals, is to demystify it a bit.
All right, well, I think that probably is all the time we've got today. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at the third episode of the kitchen design
at your house.
In my house. So we're back in my house, and then later on in the week we're going to be having our design exercise. So Julie, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we will see you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.